We're live. Hello, it's Bill, the knee pain guru. Today is Tuesday, August 24th, 2021. Today we're going to talk about dirty coffee, dirty fasting. I'm going to read you the email in just or it's actually not an email. This was a post on the Knee Pain Guru website, and the post was titled "Fasting to Heal Knee Pain, Knee Damage." So we're going to get into that in just a second. If you have questions about your knee situation, whatever it is, please enter those in the comments section. I'll address those in just a moment. Let me see what else. Today, let's go over the topic today. Today we're going to talk about intermittent fasting, systemic inflammation, and knee pain. Okay. Let's see. So this was shared by Peggy. Peggy writes, keto. So this is regarding the intermittent fasting thing. Keto coffee would be considered dirty fasting since your body is receiving food from the keto coffee. The whole point of fasting is to give your body a break from food. Even a 16-hour fast with an 8-hour eating window allows your body time to clean up its problems. However, when you keep sending food, i.e., keto coffee, down the chute, your body has to keep dealing with the food and can't get to clean up, to do the cleanup work it needs to do. Black coffee would be fine because it doesn't contain any food nutrients. Additionally, anything that your taste buds perceive as sweet, even if it doesn't contain any calories, example, lemon water or flavored tea, revs up your insulin, and once again, your body is taken away from the important cleanup work it needs time to do. And this is a really great, like what Peggy is sharing here is super valuable in terms of understanding the value of reducing systemic inflammation in the body. Intermittent fasting is very helpful with that. So how does that tie into knee pain? When the knee is in pain, there is localized inflammation in the knee. So the knee hurts, the knee swells, you have issues with range of motion, pain in the knee. What is happening is you're not only dealing with the pain in the knee, you're also dealing with systemic inflammation in the body as well. Because when the body's systemic inflammation, systemic meaning from your head all the way down to your toes, when you have systemic inflammation, your body is trying to reduce the inflammation in the entire body, as well as trying to reduce the inflammation in your knee. So it needs to do double duty. If we begin to do the intermittent fasting, like Peggy is suggesting, what's happening is we begin to reduce the systemic inflammation in the body, which frees up the body's healing resources to address the swelling and inflammation that's going on in the knee. And Peggy was giving specific reasons why how the intermittent fasting concept works. And for those that aren't familiar with intermittent fasting, you're essentially have an eating window during the day. And Peggy's using the example of 8 hours of eating with a 16-hour window of fasting, which can look like, you eat from, 12 noon to 8 p.m. at night. So that you're going to eat whatever you want in that window, but then from 8 p.m. until 12 noon the next day, you're not eating at all. And what that does is it creates a process in the body by which the body can get rid of like weak cells and clean out a lot of the toxins and things like that. It's a way of reducing systemic inflammation and setting up the conditions in the body so it can begin to heal what's going on in the knees, or heal what's going on in the body. And as a result of reducing the systemic inflammation in the body, it frees up the resources to heal what's going on in the knees. If this is making sense, Please give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications for future videos. Feel free to share this video with your friends, family, and loved ones that are struggling with knee pain. There's a few points to note here, and one of the things that Peggy talks about is keto coffee. Now, keto coffee is regular coffee with some fat source in it. I've seen coconut oil. I've seen MCT oil. There's different oils that are mixed. Butter, grass-fed butter would put in the keto or in the coffee. And when you mix the fat and the coffee together, it creates like a food source that you would eat or drink in the morning. And what that does is it keeps, when the body is burning fat, it burns it much slower and longer than if you eat carbohydrates. Carbohydrates like sweet things, breads, pasta, and you're going to have a spike in your energy. It's going to look like, oh, this is great, I feel good, and then you're going to crash afterwards. Whereas with the keto coffee, there's a lot of fat in it, and you're going to have a long, slow burn throughout the day. So your mood's going to be more consistent. You're not going to want to eat as much because you're eating something very nutritionally dense. What Peggy was talking about in regards to the intermittent fasting is that if you have the keto coffee outside of your feeding window, what ends up happening is it doesn't count. If you just had coffee, that would be fine because it's how did she refer to it as? She referred to it as the coffee would be fine because it doesn't contain any food nutrients. Let's see here. She did say anything that would spike an insulin response, like lemon in water or flavored tea. It revs up the insulin and it takes away from the body's doing the cleanup work. And the cleanup work we're talking about is reducing the systemic inflammation, which is going to help with knee pain, which is going to help in the body's recovery. And that's also going to help in you just feeling better, more focused, and things are going to be more consistent. So this was a really great contribution, what Peggy had suggested in regards to the intermittent fasting. Now, one thing that I will point out that is outside of the context, and this is where I talk about from a holistic perspective, we have to take into consideration other aspects that are not necessarily in the fasting consideration. Drinking the black coffee in the fasting window. So you're looking at drinking coffee. Coffee is a diuretic. It dehydrates the body. So this is something that is not necessarily in conflict with what Peggy is suggesting, but it's another thing to take into consideration, that when you drink coffee, it actually dehydrates the body. And what will happen is when the body is dehydrated, it needs to make sure the brain, your blood, and your organs are properly hydrated. So the body will go into the bones and the synovial fluid in the joints to draw water out of those areas to make sure the brain, the blood, and the organs are properly hydrated. Your joints aren't a priority in that. So the coffee, if you don't properly drink enough water to counteract the coffee, can begin to dehydrate the joints, which can contribute to a scenario where you're struggling with arthritis, because all diagnosis of arthritis is dehydrated joint. So even though the black coffee in your outside of your feeding window and when you're fasting is okay from a keto perspective or an intermittent fasting perspective, from a systemic a dehydration perspective, you're going to be dehydrating the body, which may be counterproductive in terms of getting the joints, the lubrication, meaning enough water, enough hydration, so that you're not going to be continuing to dehydrate the joints. So that's another element we need to look at in conjunction with the intermittent fasting. We got to find the sweet spot. It's like the Venn diagram between intermittent fasting, hydration, bringing in the coffee into the conversation, and then what's I believe is most important is looking at the neurological reeducation of the joint, meaning that you can drink the water, but your body is still dehydrated because it can't absorb the water that you are drinking. And if we get on the other side of your body is able to absorb the water because we've gotten minerals into the equation to absorb the water, we still have the neurological reeducation of the joint, meaning working with the intrinsic movement of the joint to change the neurological signaling that are causing the joint to squeeze tight together, causing the pain. So you can see there's layers and levels to this game that we need to take into consideration. We have the intermittent fasting piece. We have the coffee piece. We have the water piece. We have the ability to absorb the water piece. We have the neuromuscular reeducation piece. All of this goes into your experience of your knee when you get up out of the chair and you start walking. Your experience of your knee when you're standing at work or at home in front of the sink, when you're lying down or when you move. All of these are multiple factors that we have to look at and take into consideration when you're struggling with pain. If this is making sense, give the video a thumbs up. Like and subscribe to the channel. If this is not making sense, please ask a question so I can clarify. That would be helpful to get an idea where you're at, where your understanding is. If you're watching the replay, please do that as well. If you want to know this information sounds good, it's going to sound very different than going to a physical therapist or your conventional doctor that is going to be looking at strengthening the muscles in the legs or stretching the legs in the way in the hopes that the pain is going to go away. This is not drug, shot, surgery, conventional physical therapy. We're looking at the body much deeper. We're looking at it from a neurological level. We're looking at it from a holistic approach to see what needs to be brought into your experience, into your body to, one, relieve the pain in your knee, two, set up the conditions so your body's going to be able to heal your knees, and then three, avoid the landmines and pitfalls that are very common in the mind, the emotions, in your everyday habits that are going to throw you back into pain and slow down your healing process. So feel free to enter your questions in the comments section. If you're watching the replay, feel free to enter those in as well, as I'll address those on future videos. If you want to know what to do next, you can head on over to my website, thekneepainguru.com. I have a newsletter you could jump on there. And this is all about really, these videos specifically are to help you change your mindset about how you believe your knee can heal. That's what's most important. It's got to make sense for you, because the people that I work with in my coaching programs have already believed that their body has the infinite capacity to heal itself. They already believe that there's an easier way. They want to work smarter, not harder, getting out of pain. They want to line up with the body's capacity to heal itself, that the body heals based on universal principles that we just weren't taught when we were growing up. And no one's fault. It's just kind of how it worked out. So your head has to be in a place to understand the direction we're going, because it's very opposite of no pain, no gain. Pain is weakness leaving the body. You got to push through the pain in order to get out of pain. That's just not true. When your body is in pain, pushing through pain to get out of pain is not going to happen. It just re-embeds a further dysfunctional tension pattern that the body is already displaying as a result of an accident, an injury, a surgery, a trauma. So you can get on the newsletter. You can schedule a time for a consultation. I work with clients there to map out a strategy. That's a strategy to get out of pain. That's not necessarily going to get you out of pain. It's just taking in everything you've been doing. You get the voice, the frustration you've been dealing with, and then we map that out to get you out of pain. And the third thing you can do is join my group coaching program, Knee Club, which takes place in a group Zoom call twice per week. And you show up, you tell me where your knee hurts. I'm going to point you to specific videos in my members area of my website where you can begin getting relief in your knee today. You work with that. And then on the next call, you show up, you say, hey, Bill, this is what I worked on the homework. This is what happened. The pain moved, the pain changed, the pain got worse, the pain got better. None of it's bad or good. It's information that we need to begin to get the clear path on how your body's going to heal. Okay, we got some comments here. Oh, Becky Todd tagged someone else. If you have questions, comments, nasty remarks, please enter those in the comments section. All of these links are in the comment in the description of the video below. We're broadcasting both on Facebook and YouTube. And it's a real common sense approach. I'm giving you a different way of looking at your knees, and you have to try it to see what works or doesn't work for you. Because your situation with your knees is unique unto what's happened with your knee. So we can't put what happened to you into we can't fit a square peg in a round hole, ultimately. You need to figure out what's going to relieve your knee pain by giving me feedback as to what hurts. So the videos that I'm going to give you are going to teach you how to get the pressure off of the nerves in the knee that are causing the pain, and you're going to experience a relief. Think of it. You got a splinter in your finger. It hurts. It's kind of like there's pressure there. It's bothering you. And you can futz with it. You can put a Band-Aid on it. You could put Neosporin on it, whatever it is. But there's still that pressure in there. It's the moment that you get the tweezers right on that splinter and pull it out. Now, does the finger still hurt? Yes. It still hurts, but you could feel the pressure is gone. That's what we're looking for in the knee. We're looking to get the pressure off of those tiny little nerves that are the width of an eyelash that are being squeezed, sending a signal to your brain that you have pain. The moment you start getting pressure off of those nerves, now, just like the splinter in the finger, the body has a chance to heal what's going on in the finger. Same thing with the knee. You get the pressure off of the nerves in the knee. Now the body has an opportunity to begin to heal what's going on. And I don't care how long you've been in pain or how much you think you've tried or it's helpless and hopeless. This is different. Okay, we got some more questions. Just join the call. Andy said, just join the call. What did you say about coffee? Coffee can dehydrate the body. The coffee can dehydrate the body, so you want to drink water to counteract the coffee's dehydration effects. So with the intermittent fasting, I was referring to Peggy, which is, I read her comment to my blog post on the website at the beginning, and she was talking about drinking coffee in the fasting window, which didn't count as food, as long as it wasn't keto coffee, which is fat into the coffee blended up and drunk down. So if you're just drinking coffee by itself, it's okay from an intermittent fasting perspective, which reduces the inflammation in the body. However, from a dehydration perspective, it can cause pain in the knee in a different way. Okay, Pat writes, I had knee injections and now still wear a knee brace and unloader. When I do, I know when to change settings. Okay. I didn't know if there was a question in there. You're just sharing. That's always interesting with the chat comments, knowing how to help. So a big part of Knee Club, working with clients, is helping them focus on what's most important that's going to get them out of pain. Because many people work with clients for the past couple decades who've been suffering with pain. And what ends up happening is the pain kind of confuses things. So they'll focus on other things that aren't really high leverage to get them out of pain. So we start, I'll be drawing out of, I'd ask Pat, do you like wearing the knee brace? Is the knee completely out of pain? Do the knee injections work? If they work, how long do they work? I would also ask questions like, do you like getting knee injections? So this is anybody's approach to getting what they're dealing with their knee is fine if they like it. If it's working for them, then great, continue doing that. Because I'm not here to change anybody that's happy with what they're doing. Who I want to be able to help are the people that want to set the bar higher for the expectations of being out of pain and feeling like they're getting older and their knees are getting stiffer. And it's like, oh, there's nothing I can do. I'm going to end up with a knee replacement surgery because my uncle and cousin and mother and great grandpa told me, well, that's what's going to happen. If you truly believe that, you don't believe there's another way, well, then there's no sense. I'm not your guy. I'm the one that's looking at, well, how can we continue the knee feeling better and better each day because we understand the mechanics of how the body works on a daily basis. We keep learning more each day about how the body can let go of tension. How can we set up the conditions in the body so the body can heal itself faster, more efficiently, more effectively? That the whole mentality and concept of pushing through the pain is an old paradigm that no longer works. So I'm looking at those that are open to going in a different direction that they may not be totally certain about. When I got done with my surgery and the physical therapy, Dr. Ellis said, well, that's all we can do. We'll get you fitted for a DonJoy knee brace and you can go back doing what you want to do. The left leg is 80% of the strength of the right leg. You're done. And I was like, but it's still swollen and I'm still limping and it's still painful and I can't fully bend it. And he was like, well, yeah, that's the best we could do. And it's important to understand that the conventional medical model has a great business model if something is broken or torn in the knee. I want them to fix what is broken or torn in the knee. But if we're just talking about pain, I don't want them anywhere near my knee because they don't know enough. They don't understand the body, how it works, and on a deep enough level. And it's important to make that distinction and utilize the Western medical model in a way that allows us to get the information we need and the help and support that will move us to a place where now we can take ownership on our own for our own healing of what's going on in the knee, where we can move ourselves down this continuum so movement gets better, we feel stronger, we feel lighter, we don't feel burdened by our movement. You don't feel old, because that's just what happens when I get into my 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s. If this is making sense, give the video a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, family, and loved ones that are limping. They're easy to spot. And if you want to know like the next steps to take, once again, they're all in the description box below. You can head on over to the Knee Pain Guru website. I have time, we can schedule a consultation if you like. There's my group coaching program, Knee Club, where I work with clients in group formats. If you have questions about that, please ask those in the comments section. I do much better with questions, because I can get a sense of where you're at. Right now, I'm kind of talking to air, which is fine. I know there's people watching. However, knowing what you're dealing with, knowing what you're struggling with, it'll at least give me an angle to talk about what you're dealing with and my experience with it over the past couple decades. And if not, that's okay too. I have a video I can share with you. Short little video, a little bit more about Knee Club. I'll give another maybe 30 seconds for questions to come in. And if not, I'll just go to that video, wrap it up for today. And I'll catch you on tomorrow's video. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about yet. I got to look through what questions have come in from the past couple days or what comes in on this video. But okay, well, thank you everybody for being here. I'm going to play this video for you. You check it out. And this is Bill Paravano, the Knee Pain Guru, signing off for today. Have a wonderful day. I will see you on tomorrow's video.